everyone. So today I'm back and we are going to do part 2 of making this booklet. So today we're going to embellish it, and we're basing it off of this original one, and this is a variation of it that I made. This is part 2, and make sure you go back and watch part 1 so you can see how we put this together. And I really like how it turned out. So far we have the booklet created, and we've covered all the pages and made our pockets and so forth, and now we're just going to decorate it. Okay, let's go ahead and make our first thing on the agenda to put our twine around here. But I did want to show you what I've got so far. So I have some of my journal pages cut already. I saved one because I want to show you all how I cut it so that I get it the part I want, so that's the only size we need. So I want to show you how I get it to, cut out the part we want or on our page. And then I have some more cardstock for different things. You'll see as we go, our journal cards and our tags. We have to create all those. And then I went ahead and finished fussy cutting some of our ephemera. So we've got tags, and we've got stamps and ribbons. And these are all from my Shabby Chic Romantic Papers. They're all 8.5 by 11. And here's our ephemera. So what I did, I love stickles, and I take parchment paper so that they don't stick, because if you do the stickles while they're drying, sometimes they can stick to wherever you have them laying, but they don't stick to the parchment paper. So I did bling those up a little bit. And we're just going to go ahead and have fun and get this decorated. All right, so I have some twine here, and this is a little more blonde, a little lighter than my other one that I used for this booklet, because that's a little more shabby, a little more vintage. So I'm going to use the lighter twine on here. I still think twine's probably the best bet for, a closure like this. So we want to just wrap it through here and then tie it. And I'm going to tie it twice, so I'm sure it'll stay. And just tie it tight up against that brad that's in there. And then one more knot. Get it good and tight. And I'm going to cut this end off, because after we wrap it, that other end will show, so you know where to grab it. Alrighty, then we just wrap it around. Just wrap it around here, and that's our closure. We have way too much, so we're gonna pull that tighter, and then wrap this. We're going to cut some. Wrap it a few times. And then you want to leave the tail here so you know where to grab it to unwrap it. All right, now next, let's go ahead and start working on our tags. So for this, we are going to have 6 different tags. So the larger tags go here and here, and they are 5 1/4 by 2 1/2. And then we have the next largest are 4 by 2 1/2. And then the smallest are 3 3/8 by 2 1/2. And I think I already have my paper cut. No, I don't. We're going to cut the paper for this, so that'll be good. That's another way for you to see how to get it where you want on the, to get your design on here. So for the other ones, I use some of my journaling cards. I'll show you those. I'll just leave this open because we'll use it as examples. So we have this one I just cut around, and then I put another one on the back, and then some lace. And I have some white lace that might work better for these colors. you can just pick your favorite ones. This one says, within the rustle of leaves and the blush of blooms, I found a peace no words could frame, only a heart could feel. So books and blooms, because I had like a book theme going on here too. Books and blooms, the language of a life well loved, where stories and seasons unfold one page at a time. Oh, I do like that one. Let's do that one. So what we want to do is, you know what? I'd rather keep that for a journaling page, so we keep the bow on there. Oh, that would be pretty. We get a lot of pretty stuff on that. Okay. Amid petals and parchment, she learned the quiet magic of simply being, where nothing rushed and everything bloomed in its own time. So we would want, and you could do this a couple ways. Like sometimes I'll center it where, or not center it, but I'll get it situated where I want the design to show. And then you want to come in a little bit because we don't want to go all the way to the edge. So you could cut like this. You could always measure if you'd prefer to measure. And, you know, or you could fold. Sometimes I'll fold them because you're going to be cutting it anyway. So you could fold like this. And then you'd want to come in a little bit because we don't want it to go all the way to the edge. And then we'll have to take a little bit off the top and the bottom because we want it about like that this way. Yeah. I don't have to take too much off the top and bottom. We'll kind of center that when we're cutting it. So let me show you. And y'all probably already know how to do this or have your own way of doing it. You may have your own little method you like to use. I typically, for the most part, I usually give a little, like put a little snip in it. And then we're just going to line that up with our cutter. And then the other side. So let's see if we're happy with the width. Yeah, that's good. And then we want it, and we could just take our scissors and snip again about there. And about there. I know this is probably not a very technical way to do it, but it works when you want to get a certain part of the paper, you know, on there. Now, I have, did I cut? No, okay. Sometimes I cut off the edge of where I had snipped. I have been known to do that. Okay, there we go. So I like that on there. I'm gonna see if we can get this a little smoother. Okay, so there's that part of that tag. And then we want, all we have to do now that we have, once you have one size, then you can keep on, you know, measuring from there. Makes it a lot easier. So say we want to put, want something more elongated for on these tags. Yeah, something like that, like where it's more narrow. So what we can do now that we have our size determined, we can line this up and then we'll just cut this edge lined up there. We're going to want it about in the center again. I mean, like whenever we cut our length off, I meant. So I'm going to put these two on this tag, and we could, since we have all the corners rounded, we could make these the tags rounded. I think that would look nice. Okay, so I got my hole punch and I punched a hole. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. But I, got my hole punch and punched a hole, and I went and got some of the ribbon I thought might work. So I have this sheer. Unfortunately, I don't have much of that left, but I have this sheer kind of pink, and then I've got some more of the chiffon that we used to tie it up with, and I thought that would look good. And then I have a light pink here, so I think all those pinks would look very pretty for our tags. So I'll go ahead and put this one on here. And I'm really disappointed because I loved how this lace looked on here, but I didn't have any white, and I don't want to use the antique lace on there. So I ordered on Amazon Prime Days, I ordered this white lace, and I guess I didn't realize how thick it was, but it's too thick. I don't know if I could cut it in half this way, but it's too thick for tags, and that's the reason I got it. So I'm going to have to find another use for it, or see if I can. Maybe it would tear nicely if I cut it and then tried to tear it in half. I'm not sure. That's for another day, because today we just want to decorate this pretty thing. So what I'll do, let's figure out, because you saw how to make that one. I'm going to do the same for the other one, but with these smaller ones, what I did is I took the actual tags from the kit, from the papers, and put those onto the cardstock. Phew, I had to take a minute to organize my table, so now I'm back. And this will be another large one. We'll do similar as the one I just did. And then for these, so I found that some of these fit nicely on there. And you can, what I did is I kind of trimmed around to make it, you could just arch it maybe to make it look a little bit more uniform. And then even on the back, you could do something like, just put something like this, or let's see, this one will probably fit nicely. Yeah, we could do that. On the other one, since it was a lighter cardstock, I actually stamped on the back of it. So stamps wouldn't show up on here unless you used a white stamp. So anyway, I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and glue these down and then kind of make an arch so that it looks a little bit better with that shape. So there we have that, and we're going to punch a hole in this. I hate I had to go through that parrot's eye. That wasn't very good planning, was it? Then we could just do one of these. I love the color of these ribbons, but they shred a bit, so I haven't been crazy about that part of it. I guess it's not a parrot, it's probably a cockatoo, isn't it? I don't know. Some kind of pretty bird. There we go. And then on the smaller ones, what I did is I took the stamps. Oh, where's my stamps? There we go. So I've got all these really pretty stamps, and I put those on here. And I actually I put a stamp, and then you can take one of your smaller, maybe like, no, that's going to cover that up. Oops. We could take like maybe one of the butterflies and glue that down. And then we could probably, it looks like I can make that a little bit shorter. It worked out for the other ones, but, and then just take another one of our stamps. And then, let's see, that'll cover her up. It's too big. It's another one of the butterflies. And I'll make a little stamp out of, I'll make a little tag out of this. So you have an idea of what I'm going to do for the rest. And what I'll do is I'll finish these other tags, and then we'll do a final walkthrough. But you have a general idea of how to get started with the tags. And let's go ahead and I'm probably going to use that on one of the tags. Next really important thing to do here is go ahead and put our belly band down. So that goes under here. And our belly band is 7 3/8 by 1 5/8. And it just gets centered on there. And then I have this beautiful piece to put over top of that. And so we just want to, let's go ahead and put this on, and then we're just going to glue here and here for our belly band, because then our journal cards are going to fit through there. So these are our journal cards, and they'll slide underneath there. And I don't know if you could tell, I'm running out of my glossy accents. I do have several bottles. In fact, I should probably go get one so you don't have to see me struggling with this, trying to get it down. But I should have extra bottles. I stocked up like back in January. So there is our belly band down. Now what we want to do is start filling our journal cards, and I'll show you how to do same thing. We'll do one, and then you can do all the rest yourself. I made 4 journal cards, and they are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and you do still need to trim a little bit off of here, but not a whole lot. So as you can see, you pretty much just have to take that pink off, and you can either fussy cut that or put it in your trimmer. I prefer to put it in my trimmer. So let me do that and come back and we'll glue this down. So I just took my trimmer and cut off the very edges, and then it fits perfect. So you just want to cut off the pink edges, and then they'll fit on there really nicely. So we'll glue that down, and I'll tell you what I did on my other ones. I also stamped on there, but that's going to be difficult again to do on the black cardstock. But if you're doing the manila or the off-white cardstock, you could definitely stamp on the other side of this. But what we could do, so we could, since I have so many actual journal messages, we could put another one on the back there, and I think that's what I'll do for this one. But other ideas you could do is you could take some of your ephemera. I mean, there's nothing wrong with using one of these tags and build yourself a little something on here. So maybe like just a couple, you know, you could even take a strip of paper. Yeah, let's maybe look at that. That'd be fun. So just take like, let me see if I got like a really thin one. Got this one's pretty thin. You could put something like that down for your anchor. Ooh, that'd be better. I'm just going to trim this up a little bit, and then that could be like our little anchor piece. Let's see how that works. So here's our little piece trimmed up, and I thought I'd just put that there. We can make our layout, and then before we glue it down, see if we're happy with it. And that could even go under. Let's see. No, I have to go on top. Yeah, maybe something like that. That would work. So I'll just glue these pieces down. Let's see. I want to start with trying to keep them in place. I love just playing like this because this is what's so much fun when it comes to embellishing, is just to play and see what you can come up with. It is so much fun to me. I hope y'all feel the same way. It's just fun to experiment and play, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but you can get some really gorgeous results from playing. Now, I don't want to get too much on here, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and you like to try to have odd numbers. I'm not sure if that's going to work in this case. Yep, sure will. There we go. So we'll just put that there. And we got us a little collage. And since we're going to be putting these in and out, I better try to glue these little pieces down a little bit. Okay, so there's our first journal card, and then it will just slip under here. And so you can make your journal cards. Now we're going to make, I'll show you what I did. So for our actual journal, I took, these are all 10, let's see, I wrote it on one of these. They're 10 by 7 7/8. And I have 3 of those. And the way I did it, where's my other one? I have the extra one here because I wanted to show you. Oh, here it is. I think this is it. Yeah. So I wanted to show you what I did. I didn't bother scoring. You could score it at 5 because it's 10 this way, and we want it in half. So you could score it at 5, but with this cardstock, I didn't feel like that was necessary, so it just kind of saves you a step to put your edges even here. Get your edges even, and then fold. It's just that easy. But again, you could, if you wanted to, you could score it. Now I am looking for my foam folder, although I don't know that I need it. Seems to be crisping pretty good there. So this is going to be our little journal booklet. And what we're going to do is cut pages to fit on here. And I have done some, but I ran out because, like I said, I've got to order another book to get some more of these images. And our journal covers are 4 5/8 by 7 3/4. So they're 7 3/4 this way and 4 5/8 wide. And then they just fit nicely on there like that. And then we'll bind it. What I did with this one, I think I'll do the same thing because I kind of like that. I just took my awl and made holes down through it and then put ribbon through, and it's staying really nice like that. Oh, and I saved this because I did want to show you, and I pretty much showed you already how, if I was going to cut this, I would figure out about what I wanted to show, and then, you know, just trim, put little notches in it with the scissors, and then trim it. And so you've seen how to do that because we did it with the tags and journal cards. So what we could do now is just take this sheet. I want it to be about like that, and I'm going to cut it based on that, and then I'm going to put all the pages that I do have, I'm going to go ahead and put on here and then show you how to bind it, because I do believe even after I have it bound, I still should be able to put my papers on because they don't interfere with that. Yeah. And I did make some extra tags, so here's some of the little tags that I had made. Oh yeah, this one was fun. So I took a brad and that turns like that, and see how I stamped these? They were fun. Okay, and I just put some elastic on there so that I could put the tags under it and covered it up with that. After I went over to my cutter, I ended up changing my mind because I thought, you know what? This looks pretty because you can tell that it's books then, or even this end, but I kind of like this end with the flowers and everything. So I'm going to keep this part. So let's cut. So it needs to be 4 5/8 wide. So we want to save this one. So we'll go 4 5/8. And then I want this part, so we want it to be 7 3/4. 7 3/4. There we go. So we got another, whoop. Looked like it was too long, didn't it? A little bit too long. Oh, it said 7 3/4. 7 3/4, maybe. Oh, there we go. I didn't measure it right. That would help. No, that's 1/4. just seemed to have a little bit extra on there. Okay. Oh, now it doesn't. So, I don't know what I was looking at, but yeah, that's okay. It still fits. So I'm going to put the papers that I do have on here, and then we'll bind it, because like I said, I got to get another book in, and then I'll have more to put on here. And that's all I have left, unfortunately, till I get another book in. But I'll try to show you. I mean, this comes with a ton of papers, but I used so many in the other one, and then I made this one. And so I had 2 books, and they just about made 3 whole booklets. But I have a ton of scraps left over. They're just not large enough. They're not large enough to fill a journal page. Okay, so what we want to do is, if you already have one done, you can use this as a marker for where you want to put your holes with your awl. But if you're starting from scratch, you're not going to have that. So we need to get to the center, and if you're afraid they're going to slip around or anything, you can put some clips. Like a lot of times I'll go ahead and clip them together. I don't think this small of one will move around too much, but if you want to make sure they stay in place. And then I put these, I believe I put 1 inch down from the top and 1 inch up from the bottom. So, yep. So I did 1 inch and 1 inch. Yep, 1 inch and 1 inch. Okay. So we can go ahead and take our ruler, and we can make a little mark with our awl. Go right in that crease where our fold is. Go ahead and make a little mark. Well, we could just go ahead. Why don't we just go, oops, wait a minute. See, it's not right in the crease. That's what I was afraid of. There we go. All right. So we got 1 inch, and we're right at our crease. And it just goes through. Lovely. No issues. And then same thing, 1 inch up. Okay, we're going to want right in that fold. Okay, goes through beautifully. All right, we have our holes, so I think I'm just going to do this ribbon, this nice translucent. And I have discovered before that sometimes if you use your scissors, you can get this through those holes, because otherwise it's pretty hard to thread this. There we go. And it does make the hole a little bit bigger, but not terribly. And then we'll go ahead and do the same here. And put on about there. Pull through some. Just poke some of that through there, and then it'll come through the other end for you. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? And I could have put eyelets. I forgot I got a new crocodile, and I got eyelets. We could have done that and then had little eyelets in here. We'll do that on the next one. I totally forgot I got that because my old one had broken, so I haven't been using it. So I'm not sure if this ribbon's going to tie all that great. That lace was perfect, but my daggone white lace is too big. Okay, still pretty. So we have us a start of a little journal. And then I just have to add the other pages once I get my new booklet. So that's going to go under here. And I like to put this down, and then this, and then this. And then we can wrap this around here. There we go. All right, so we'll be doing some more tags. And remember, it folds this way, and we want to put a document. So what I did last time, I do still have one full page that I've been saving, because I used this in the last one, and I really like that. It's kind of got little scenes there. And so I took this and folded it up and put it in there like a little secret document. All right, so I have this pretty paper folded in thirds. I did have to refold it, but it's 7 1/4 and then folded in 3s. And then I'm going to take this pretty Prima flower and put it on there like a little tab. So we just need to glue that down and we're pretty much done. I will, when I get my new papers in, I will come back on and show you the finished journal, and then I'm also going to, we'll do some decorating on the front. Now for this one, and I'm sorry that I had to extend this further without having all my papers here. This one, I do want to show you how to do a cluster like this, if you like this. And I have an extra one, but it's going to be too big for this because I like to make them and then just have them on hand for different books. But we will do that. We'll make a cluster for the cover, and I'll show you all my tags finished and the finished journal. So let's plan on meeting up again. Sorry to make it drawn out so much, but I hope you've enjoyed it. And you can at least have your, well, you can really have all yours done if you have all your papers. And this is just lovely. I think it's beautiful. Thanks for watching.